All right, guys, let's start the show. Let's start the show, Timmy. There we go. That's so nice. Man, I love James Bond music, baby. And we've got some cool news. Maybe it's not going to be for everybody, but this is some very significant shift that's happening in the wristwatch space. So make sure to grab your favorite drink. I'm drinking this XS Elite energy drink. And let me know, guys, what watch are you wearing on the wrist? Let me know in the chat. I'm not wearing anything right now. It's too freaking hot. I took the watch off. I had my Panerai on today. I'm just really enjoying the Pam. Really, like, it's so difficult to beat the Pam on a summer day. Actually, let me put it back on. Let's put the watch back on. Come on, Timmy, don't be lazy. There we go. Bam. I love this watch, especially wearing it kind of like off kilter. I mean, look at this thing. Where should the watch be when you're wearing it? Think about it, right? Where do you guys wear your watch? Do you wear it like on the bone? You wear it low, high? Look at this. I feel Panerai worn slightly higher over here and kind of off kilter. Feels really comfortable. I don't know. Is this a weird way to wear a watch? There's technically no wrong way to do it. But anyways, man, I love the Panerai. Fuck, I love the Panerai, guys. So yeah, let me know what you got on the wrist. Let's see. We got Venture Capitalist saying he's wearing Patek Ellipse in platinum. Very classy choice, sir. Nothing like a an ellipse. It's a really cool piece. Ellipse, one of the most iconic Patek Philippe wristwatches. They went a little bit too big, I think, lately. So the newer models, they're gigantic. But some of the kind of mid neo vintage ones, I feel they're just perfect size. Although, hey man, wear whatever you like. So, but anyways, grab your drink, guys. Let me know what you're wearing in the chat. Tonight, we're talking about something that honestly made me stop scrolling. I was going through different watches, just checking the feed, and I didn't even think this was a Greubel 4C. That's the crazy thing about it. Like, I just kept looking at this watch, not understanding what am I looking at? Is this some new independent brand? What the hell is it? It's just the logo. They've done such a subtle job with the logo. You see, they put it here at kind of a 3 o'clock ish that I didn't even like. I was just admiring the watch. That's how amazing I thought it was, right? Because this wasn't just, another rainbow dial watch. It's not another integrated bracelet steel sports stunner. It's not another titanium or some fancy schmancy material. It's something it's something that I feel like nobody else in watchmaking is doing. Okay? Grubel Force here. They call this the Balancier QM. The QM, look at that. What the hell is QM? Yeah, man, it's crazy stuff. There's some very interesting philosophy that's going on right now. And I really think watchmaking has really hit a certain ceiling of quality, and so brands they have to come up with new ways to innovate. And philosophy is one of those areas where I think there's a lot of room to work with. And so I want to ask you guys a question tonight. All right. Now, let me know in the chat, can a watch ever be finished too well? Like, is there such a thing? Is Can somebody do too good of a job when finishing a watch? All right, let's get some close-ups here. Okay. And does anybody even give a fuck about super high-end finishing? All right? Because before people start telling me, before people start ripping this watch in the chat saying it's too ugly, it's too expensive, or I'd much rather get a Patek Philippe, right? Or I'd much rather buy a three family house or whatever, because let's try not to miss the point here, right? Greubel is not trying to compete against Rolex. I don't even think they're competing against AP or Patek. Maybe a bit of a Patek competition, but what I really feel what they've done here is they're trying to push absolute limits of human craftsmanship. This is what this watch is trying to be. In a way that one of my favorite watchmakers, I think if you guys been watching the show for a while, you'll know Bernard Lederer is one of my favorite watchmakers because I feel like he's trying to push the absolute boundaries, the limits of timekeeping. He's trying to make the most accurate watch in the world. And but Greubel, I feel like they're trying to push the absolute limits of what is possible in in finishing. You know, is that crazy? Like, who is this watch for? Right? Ask yourself. So obviously, for somebody who already has a house and they don't need a second house, they're like, yes, I already have a house, I already got a nice car. I want the best finished watch ever. Okay. This is why I think Greubel is not competing against Rolex AP or Patek. This project is is more of a like a Bugatti of wristwatches, right? Or a Stradivarius violin, or I don't know, maybe like Fabergé or something like that. It's uh it's like a Bugatti. This is a Bugatti of wristwatches. If a wristwatch, if wristwatch was, if Gruber Forsey was a car, it would be a Bugatti. I feel because it's like they asked this question, right? Like, what would happen if we removed almost every financial limitation, you know, and just built the best mechanical object that could possibly be built? What would that look like? Right? And that's why I think it's a slightly different business model than what other brands are pursuing. Let's take a look at some close-up images because you guys probably asking yourself, is Timmy insane? Is he really trying to say that this is the best finished watch? ever made. Yes, yes, that's what I'm saying. It's not a proto. Well, is this a prototype? It does say it's a prototype, but this is going to be limited to 33 pieces. You know, I think everybody when it comes to Greubel Force, everybody has attention has been um, consumed by the Balancier, but it's because it's not. It doesn't look like a regular Balancier. You know what I mean? Like that. That's how's this Balancier? Because to me it looks more like their handmade collection. But they call this the Balancier, and then they followed this by those two letter, right? Got that two letter moniker. This is a Balancier QM, and the QM stands for Quality Musée. What the f? That sounds a little bit pretentious. Quality Musée. Are they saying that this is museum level quality? Exactly. I think that's exactly what they're saying. They're trying to bring in a completely new level of quality. You know how there's a Geneva seal, there's all these levels of quality. Well, Grubel Forsey is basically declaring that they're that they don't want to make luxury watches anymore, right? You know, they want to make every single component of the wristwatch to be worthy of sitting in a fucking museum. That's a insane statement. All right. Basically, every part, visible or not visible. And, I think this is something that Lange has been kind of known for, that they finish their movements to such a high degree that the parts that are not even visible, they also finish them to the same level as the parts that are uh, visible. But it's a good finish. However, this is supposedly even higher level finish. It does say, Steer Park, that this is a prot. It's got this little plaque over here that says proto. It's probably a prototype, but I think this prototype supposedly showing the kind of level of quality that they're aiming for. Hey, cheers one day retro. Got James the watchmaker in the house. Says I'm picking up new watch on Wednesday. Ooh, congrats. Let's see. Venture Cap says these guys will be a distant memory in less than 10 years. Ooh, well, look, Grubel Forsey recently had a major shift in administration. They let go of some of the instrumental players in the development of the brand, because I think they've been trying to pursue a new direction, and I think now we're seeing the fruits of that direction. I think this is where they want to go. Okay, like think about this way: how many brands advertise that they have a display case back? Right, a lot of them. But even though they have this open case back and they might have a nicely finished rotor or a few parts that are nicely finished on the top, a lot of the unfinished grimy stuff is hidden underneath those bridges. And what Greubel is doing here is the opposite. They're finishing parts of the movement that will never see the light of day. Now, is that passion or is it madness? I I I don't know. But let's watch the interview here of Waco does the interview with the CEO of Greubel Forsey, and then we're gonna keep dissecting what the hell is going on, right? Because I mean, if Rolex made uh, bridges prettier or finished the rotor better, which they're doing, right? Which they're already doing on the Land Dweller, right? And the new 1908. It's not really making uh, the watch keep time better. It's not more reliable. The Rolexes, the new Rolexes with new movements, they're not going to survive longer because Rolex, has their own Geneva style of finish, right? Where they have that thick line in between each stripe. So spending all this extra time to finish uh, parts better is like, you know, is that irrational? I think Rolex had to do it because so many other brands are doing it. Like Omega. Omega has this beautifully finished movements, and I think Rolex had to upgrade their finishing game. They had to open up the case back. Maybe not on all of their models, but at least on some key models, so that they don't fall behind. Because I don't even think Rolex is selling watches anymore. And we'll talk about Rolex um, in a few minutes. There's some breaking Rolex news as well that we didn't talk about. But yeah, let's watch this. This is funny shit.
What's going on, guys? Waco and Michelle Neidecker, CEO of Greubel Forsey. It's June. It's so balmy and charming here in Geneva. We had the pleasure of working on a TV show together called Man of the Hour. Yes, we did. And I remember a lot of it was shot next to the lake as we were about to embark on our quest to find Robert, right?
Indeed.
Which we eventually did, spoiler alert. But during this time...
Ah, there's Robert Greubel. Man, this is 9 hours ago. Damn, that's the legend that they let him go very unceremoniously. But it's good to see that he's enjoying his life riding motorcycles. Dude, when we were in Florence, we're talking with Sean about where would be the best place to live. And I think we kind of all agreed that probably Florence is because it's so nice. Probably for Sean, it's definitely Florence. Oshin was there to tell everybody, "It's like, come on, guys, don't be stupid. Venice is the best place." But man, Geneva, Zurich, Geneva is a great place to live, especially if you're into watches. But I think Sean is more into fashion and style than watches.
Maybe what the audience doesn't know is that you open your backpack and you show me some sketches, and you're like, this is some of the stuff we're working on for the future.
Sure.
And one of those was the watch that has now materialized before my eyes. I believe it's called the Balenciaga QM.
Correct.
Right?
Oof.
And I was like, dude, this is freaking awesome. When you were off camera, I took the liberty of examining it.
Jesus
and I
Christ,
can confirm
look at that.
it is freaking awesome. It's insanely good. So talk to me about that, man.
Sure. Well, thank you. So the name QM stands for qualité musée, so that means museum quality. And the idea was for us to conceive of a timepiece in such a way that we would hope for it to be in a museum one day. So in terms of that approach, it's focused on hand finishing, which is something that we've always been known for. So Robert and Steven, since the very beginning, when hand finishing was not even part of any kind of conversation
At all.
they really wanted to bring that back, and I think they succeeded fantastically, because now it's
Insane macros. It almost doesn't even look real.
part of every conversation about almost
You
everyone.
can't have a conversation without it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And here was to see if we can go even further in terms of the sophistication of our hand finishing.
Like, nobody needs fucking hand stitching inside a Rolls Royce, right? Nobody needs a marble carved by Michelangelo. Nobody needs a handmade violin, right? But the value comes from knowing that another human being spent countless hours creating something that almost feels impossible, right? So what Greubel 4C seems to be going here for is that emotional value, not so much practicality. You know, it's it's really incredible to see it, because watchmaking over the past 10 years seems to have evolved into like crazy materials, crazy complications, shit that's really like attention grabbing. And here, Grubel Forsey pulls all that back and goes into this mega finishing. So yeah. By the way, guys, what do you think? What are you impressed most about by in this watch so far? Is it the finishing? Do you like the way the movement is constructed? Because it's got some interesting architecture. Um, is it the lack of, or the complication, or is it the history of Gruber Forsey? Let me know in the chat. And what I really like is the return of the
Right.
balance wheel.
We are building a R&D department.
Let me actually just scroll back here, because I want to show you guys this balance wheel. How incredible is that? Let's see, is that the best? I think there's one angled one. Yeah, right here. Look at that balance wheel. And like, the crazy thing for me is that it's just a balance wheel, right? It's not like they could have put a tourbillon, but they didn't. They put, this is like a hillbilly tourbillon. I hate to say it, but like sometimes these lower end brands, they'll put a balance wheel like this, right? Because like we just saw Breguet create a very similar watch. If you think about it, right? That the 225th uh, tourbillon anniversary of the Breguet looks so similar to this, right? But it's got the tourbillon. Whereas Grubel is like, no, we're not gonna do the tourbillon. We're just gonna do a balance wheel, right? It takes a lot of balls, I think, to put just a balance wheel here, right? There's no crazy complications. There's no 12 complications on this watch. There's just a power reserve, hours, minutes. You got seconds over there on the other side at 8:30, and they took the balance wheel and they finished it to such an incredible degree. It's insane, and just the whole thing, everything is finished to insane degree. It's almost like, right, in the world where everybody's trying so hard, right? Everybody's just trying so hard to to get the attention. Grubel is like pulling back. So let me play this again, and guys, watch. Look at the finishing here. It's just mind-boggling.
So in terms of that approach, it's focused on hand finishing, which is something that we've always been known for. So Robert and Steven, since the very beginning, when hand finishing was not even part of any kind of conversation
At all.
they really wanted to bring that back, and I think they succeeded fantastically, because now it's part of every conversation about almost
You
every.
can't have a conversation without it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And here was to see if we can go even further in terms of the sophistication of our hand.
So boom, they want to go even further, right? Fuck.
Finishing.
Right.
We are
Oh, man, this is like I think they're taking a little bit of a page out of Reshepi's playbook. Reshepi is just one guy. Well, now he's got a full team, obviously, but when he didn't, he was finishing watches to this degree, and they're like, "Hey, we've got this massive machine, insane amount of investors. Let's do what I feel like what Reshep is doing. Let's actually do it even better."
building a R&D department focusing only on hand finishing.
Wow.
Right. So we have our R&D
Damn.
that's been in place for
movements,
for,
right.
for exactly.
Right.
But for hand finishing,
And they were doing those handmade watches, but the handmade watches, they're fucking insanely expensive and insanely limited. And I think this is going to be the same level of finishing as the handmade, if not even higher.
that is new to us.
Fuck.
So
Wait, let me stop there, because I think that's so cool. Because it's true that Robel and Steven, they had established, I would probably say, the highest benchmark for series-made watches in terms of hand finishing of all time.
Sure.
Like, it didn't exist until they decided that they wanted to do it, and they did it purely because that's what they love.
Yeah.
More than 2 decades later, people have come to appreciate the incredible value of hand finishing.
Sure.
And as a result, everyone has also wanted to become invested in hand finishing
Yes.
in one way or another. But in general, 90% of the finishing that you see follows types of finishing that have already been long established. A great example of that is when you guys did the Handmade 1, and the base plate was gratte.
yes,
right?
exactly.
And that kind of never really existed as a decorative technique before.
But I'm seeing it more and more.
So it's really cool that you guys now have decided to focus as much like your R&D on finishing as you do on complications.
Absolutely. Because it's been 20 years since Greubel 4C started, and we figured now is a good time to see if we can explore this even further. So, but what's interesting is that you can see the difference between good hand finishing and excellent hand finishing.
Right.
But between excellent and then going the extra mile,
yes,
it becomes intellectually quite challenging. So,
right.
For example, here we're talking about minute details. So even the escape wheel has a new geometry. It's frosted and black polished. Wow. The jewels for the palette.
Oh fuck! By the way, so just to go back here to this image, this is a really big deal, because Balancier QM becomes, I think this is their first non-handmade Greubel that's made using their fully in-house hairspring. Okay? Because the company manufactures hairsprings internally from an alloy production to the final shape that's using their traditional methods. And that says, I think, a lot about their capability and how they're going to grow it across the collection. Right? Because a lot of brands say that they have an in-house movement. Like, that's cool. Yeah. Now make a hairspring. That's fucking impossible. All right. Make the escapement. Right. Make everything. Make everything in-house. There's only a few companies that can actually do that. Right. And it's easy to assemble a watch, but to manufacture every little critical component yourself, Yeah, it's a different level.
It's frosted and black polished. The
Wow.
jewels for the palette fork, they're rounded instead of
Wow.
just being flat.
Fuck!
The size of the bevels, you will notice, is significantly larger than what we would usually do.
This is insane, insane level of finishing on this beautiful bridge. I got one little mistake, and you're screwed. You have to
Right.
start
And this
over.
is basically the first sort of the first test, if you will.
Mm.
And what we're going to do after that is basically go back to the drawing board and conceive of a new movement in such a way that we can showcase finishes that had never been done before.
That's amazing, man.
Oh wow!
And here now, 39.6 millimeter. So it's
Oh
very
yeah. So guys, let's give Greubel Force here another little round of applause. 39.6 millimeters. Finally, right? Finally, not a 45 millimeter clunker or some 47 millimeter watch. Leave it for Panerai, all right, Greubel? It's like with the amount of money that they have, the fact that they're making these extraordinary watches, but they're making them in Panerai size, I felt like that was unacceptable. No more hockey pucks from Greubel, please. I think they've realized that collectors are moving towards more elegant proportions now. Everybody wants to get like watches in the perfect shape. That's why Breguet, the new Tourbillon Tradition, is in 30, 35 millimeters. I think it's not even 36. I think it's 35. We saw Tudor Bumblebee chronograph that is 39 millimeters as well. So it's good to see Balenciaga QM come in this beautiful white gold case, 39.6 millimeters. It's this is probably one of their most wearable watches, right? And imagine in 10 years, people gonna call Greubel Force elegant, huh? It's crazy.
very comfortable.
39.6.
Correct.
I like how you said that you can recognize good from mediocre. It's pretty easy to recognize.
Sure.
Good to excellent. Also, yeah, I mean, you need to understand what it is that you're looking at.
Yeah.
But you're also very right. Excellent to like finishing of the gods.
Yeah.
You almost need to have like a PhD level course in appreciating it. So
Sure.
but once you do,
that's why it's a great time for that now,
Yes.
because people have learned so much about
Yes.
hand finishing over the past years that we figured now
Mm.
we can take it further. And there are certain things which are for us, I guess, more of a matter of principle. So, for example, the winding mechanism, which you're not going to see here, is black polish.
Wow.
So it's something that we haven't done before. But we were thinking that if someone in 200 years, a watchmaker would service this watch and he would discover a black polish.
Damn,
they would
dude,
be
they
like,
black
"They
polish.
did that?"
Yes.
And so that's why, hence the Qualité museum quality approach that we want to pursue further.
Well, I love the fact that you told me that like the escape wheel has a new geometry and then it's been black polish. The jewel.
It's almost like they're trying to top the what's it called? Richard Mille, because Richard Mille was the brand that was known for like over engineering the watches, and it looks like Greubel is trying to become the brand that's even above that.
Are rounded instead of being sort of like flat and rectangular.
Yeah.
So what's cool is that the watch is hacking, so you can stop it and immediately
Sure.
take a loop and look at it.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I mean, again, I'm an old guy with terrible eyesight, but when you look at the escape wheel, there's definitely something going on, right? Like you're like,
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's
And even the large
Mental.
balance wheel is quite spectacular, right? You know.
dude.
The bridge for that, by the way, is one of the more difficult things that we did here. So you have the barrel polish. So
Mhm.
first, it's shaped with the file. You
Right.
have the barrel polish, polished flanks. The bevels on the base, like on the foot, are pretty insane if you can find them.
Nuts. Yeah, I
The
can.
countersink is
They're
super
huge.
deep.
Going to the countersink for the jewel for the balance wheel,
Yeah.
and then going from the bridge, like those two shapes meet, and they're super sharp.
Yeah.
And they're super polished all the way to the line where they meet as well, which has got to be like, I don't even know how you do something like that, you know.
It takes a whole week for that one.
That's crazy.
And that's what, like, you know, not a whole week for an amateur, a whole week for a Greubel Force.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Next year, we're looking at 4 new movements.
For next year?
Entirely new.
Wow.
And then 3 the year after that, and 3 the year after that.
Whoa.
That, you know, not that that's necessary. But given that our movement development R&D is independent from production, you know, everyone's just kind of been let loose. And we do what we really enjoy doing the most.
Yeah, you know, even just like the caps that go on top of the hands, they're like masterpieces, right? Masterpieces, you know.
And to have the flame glued hands, to have like an even blue throughout the whole length is actually, you know, quite challenging.
Dude,
oftentimes you get like blue and then purplish. But this is we're making 33 here in white gold.
Water resistant at all?
3 ATM for this.
I guess I can keep it on when I go jump in that pool. Let's go. Let's go. So it's summer, it's June.
Look, it's incredible stuff. And that's what, like, I was thinking, where does independent watchmaking go next, right? Because I feel like we've already seen so much. We've seen the crazy materials. We saw full sapphire cases. We saw diamonds inside a carbon case. We saw multiple X's tourbillons, multiple tourbillon, multiple X's tourbillons, right? We've seen constant force mechanisms, silicon, resonance, you fucking name it, right? Everything crazy we've seen, right? What is even left, right? Are there like, you know, next levels of luxury that's even more complicated? Are there complications that never existed before? Um, Look, I'm sure we'll see some creative, crazy complications to come, right? But the stuff could start feeling a little bit gimmicky, and it's already is feeling a little bit gimmicky with some of the stuff. For example, here, let me show you something. Well, and I'm not saying that this is a gimmick or anything, but when I was in Florence, there was a gentleman at Cafe Gilly. He was sitting there with his friend, and he was wearing this watch, Christopher Claret. This is a blackjack watch. Insane shit, right? Like, I'm sure that there's an infinite number of complications that could be invented, right? If Christopher Claret can put a blackjack game on a watch, then what's not possible, right? Almost anything is possible in a wristwatch form. But does that make it a wristwatch? Do we need a blackjack game on the watch? Couldn't they have just done some type of a pocket, like a little pocket, like a pocket watch? Maybe it could be shaped a little bit differently. It doesn't even have to display time. I mean, what the fuck? Why do we need time? Could there be like a pocket watch that plays blackjack? That could just be a cool fucking little thing that you can have in your pocket when you're bored. You take it out and you play blackjack. Does this thing need to tell the time? I I don't know. I don't think so, right? And that's why I've been thinking, like, where can luxury watchmaking go next? Complications. Can they make existing complications even better? Sure, of course there's room for refinement. Like, I was thinking about the Breguet that Sean has. He's got this 10 hertz Breguet, right? So that was a complication that Breguet invented, making a 10 hertz watch, and they had to do cool science shit to make it. And then they pushed that technology further where they made a 10 hertz tourbillon, right? Okay. That's really impressive. A 10 hertz tourbillon. Is that necessary? Probably not, but it is cool that they pushed the hertz technology further. What about 20 hertz? Are they going to do 20 hertz? Is there going to be a 30 hertz, 100 hertz? I mean, it gets to certain points where it's ridiculous. Like I feel like a 10 hertz, there's something special about that 10 hertz. The way it ticks, the way that Breguet made it possible for people to actually see the 10 hertz, and they had to create a special uh, hand that does a single 360 rotation in in 2 seconds with 20 beats in order for somebody to be able to visualize it. Now, I haven't seen the 10 hertz tourbillon in person yet. I bet it looks incredible, but like where is it all going, right? And I felt, man, Greubel is being interesting and creative with this new watch, and the direction is obvious. Now let's take a quick look here at the brand new Richard Mille RM 6401 Tourbillon Colnago. This is a second collaboration they've done with the cycling in mind. And this one, wow, it is very, very interesting. I've done a little bit of reading about what Colnago is because I'm not into bicycling, and I don't think Brenny is coming back on my live stream anytime soon after after my debate with him. Man, he had to pull it down. That's brutal. That is brutal. He was pissed. But yeah, apparently Colnago is what Rolex is to like diving watches, or Ferrari is to sports cars. Or yeah, it was apparently was founded by Ernesto Colnago, and they became basically famous for pushing the bicycle engineering to its absolute freaking limits. You got carbon fiber everywhere, weight reduction, professional racing. It's Italian craftsmanship at its best. So, if that sounds familiar, it's basically Richard Mille philosophy in watchmaking, right? So the collaboration makes perfect sense. Both brands obsess about weight, engineering, performance, materials, all the cool shit. And so they took the two philosophies and merged them together, right? Putting one logo next to the other. Fucking cool. Yeah, check out these pictures. All right. Oh, man. Fuck. Watch collecting lifestyle. What a piece of shit website. Okay, let me see if I can zoom it in a little bit. So there's the watch. Look at that dial, huh? The movement, it doesn't look very traditional. It looks like, okay, well, I'm not how about let's do some audience participation. What does the movement bridge look like to you? Let's see. Who's the first one to educate me. I mean, I know, but I don't know. It's got I'll give you some clues, guys, right? It's got some suspension geometry in there, right? Some aerospace engineering. Uh, anyways, look, I think I gave it away because I've I scrolled down too far, and you guys probably saw that you got these bicycle frames. There you go. Look at that. Look at that bicycle frame right here. That looks exactly like what they put on the dial. Check it out. It's gonna be limited to 50 pieces. It's fucking incredible. I mean, is it worth the money? I don't know. You tell me. You know, I think people always complain that all Richard Meals they kind of look the same, but all Ferraris look the same. All Porsches look like a Porsche. Every Rolex looks like a Rolex. So what's cool here is that Richard Mille is kind of they're not going back into their archives and bringing historical pieces back. They're they're doing some new stuff, and it's rather cool. I think this is going to be the next Bubba Watson because the way Bubba Watson became uh, super recognizable with the RM11, and I didn't actually realize how big bicycling is, but it's fucking everything. Every sport right now is getting so nutty, so like so competitive, right? Competitions have never been this competitive ever. Even like fucking people who are doing recreational sports, even they're getting crazy competitive. Okay, and I think it's like social media has democratized the competition. There's all these apps that allow people to track their uh, performance. So, for example, I just recently came across this short. This is so funny because, but it summarizes, I think, just the 2026 perfectly. So check this out. This is running in 2010. All right. So just look at this. This guy is just he's just walking out. All right. Just a white t-shirt, just some gym shorts. He's got, just regular running sneakers and a banana. All right. There you go. He's just going for a run. No big deal. Scratched his ass. All right. Here we go. Boom. And now 2026, baby. Let's go. He's got fucking 3 trackers. He's got special running sneakers, special running socks. He's got special underwear, special freaking running t-shirt. He's got vest with liquids. He's got gels. He's got armbands. He's got a fucking pulse meter. He's got special running sunglasses that tells you actually your speed that you're running at. Your special hat. It's all optimized to absolute maximum degree to give you best possible advantage. It's mental. Here we go. That's 2026, baby. Everything is getting super mega competitive. It's just because we didn't have war in a long time. Ah. Anyways, I thought it was funny. Um, let's do one more thing. Um, There's one more piece of interesting news that came out earlier this week, and I haven't had the time to touch upon it. And it's this thing right here. There is a National Geographic Museum that opened in Washington D.C. Now, you might look at this and say, "Okay, cool, cool, very nice." But whoa, look at that clock on the outside. What does that look like to you? Hmm? Yeah. Well, it's not just a museum. This actually tells you about where Rolex kind of sees itself today. And I mentioned earlier in the episode that Rolex is not making watches. What does that mean? Right? I think Rolex, they're actually seeing themselves as part of human history. All right. It's no longer about watches. Yeah. And because look, like when's the last time that you guys saw Rolex advertise watches? Right? Like think about it. Like actually think about it. When's the last commercial you saw about accuracy or the beat rate or about their movements, their new improved power reserve? Never. What do you see instead? Some guy climbing a mountain. You see deep sea exploration. There's science, arts, music, dance. You see historical expeditions, right? Rolex is not selling watches. They're selling aspiration. They're selling human achievement, right? They're selling the idea that your watch is there with you during life's biggest adventures. And this museum is like a chapter of their story. All right, look at this. Look at this shit. It blew my mind, right? Because when when I think about Rolex, I'm not really thinking about their movements and stuff, right? Like what do you guys think? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think Rolex? Just be honest. Let's see it. Like think about it. If when you think Rolex, what comes to your mind? Ask yourself. Be honest. Is it success? Is it Bond? Is it a Submariner or a Daytona GMT Master 2? Is it status? Is it adventure? To be honest. So that's why I think this is probably one of the smartest partnerships that Rolex has ever made. Right? Other brands are trying to put their name on some race car driver's wrist, or they're trying to put a logo here or there, or sponsor some team or some event, right? And Rolex does sponsor events, right? But look at this. National Geographic. What the fuck? This is so cool because National Geographic, I fucking love National Geographic. I've got some National Geographic magazines. Look at this. Hold on. Watch this. Let me show you something, guys. Look at this shit. I love National Geographic. Look at this shit. National Geographic. I need to resubscribe to the National Geographic. It's only like I think $15 or something. Look at this. Oh, look at this shit. Look at this. Look at the back. What the fuck? Toyota quality. Hey, look at that. The Toyota. Look at this Toyota. Back when Toyota was fucking badass. Look, take a ride in the great indoors. Fuck! Just climb aboard 1989 Toyota Camry. Fuck, that's the Toyota I want to have. Sit back and enjoy the ride. Everywhere you look, beauty around, from the richly appointed dashboard down to the super plush seating and the carpeting. And for a truly spectacular view, check out the vast amount of open space. Or better yet, go test a ride the great indoors for yourself and discover the beauty everlasting. At 36-month, 36,000-mile basic new vehicle limited warranty with no deductibles and no transfer fee applies to all components other than normal wear and maintenance items. Call 1-800-GO-TOYOTA for more information and the location of the nearest dealer. Get more from life. Buckle up, man. But it's not about the Toyota. It's about the articles, man. The fucking articles that they have here. Look at this article. Searching for the secrets of gravity. Fuck the secrets of gravity, guys. Dude, it's some of the most incredible. Look at this. This is the article back when the great legend was still alive. Fuck. Motherfucker. So fucking cool. Man. Oh my god. You know, I found this magazine on the street and I think fucking more than 20 years ago and I kept it since then. It's such a life-changing issue for me. Fuck. And look at this article here. It's about forests. Look at that. Man, look at these guys. I think Ray Ray is one of these dudes. Yeah, I think it's definitely Ray Ray there. Anyways, there's some fucking cool articles in here. Probably should go back and reread this. This was on the Baltic. It's a ballet. And this issue is what the oh, whoa, 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 whoa. What the hell? Man, I have to reread this. Anyways, I got some other National Geographic magazines here that I've collected over the years. I think I kept this one. This is a pretty cool one. Meet the Robots. Fuck. That's like 2020. And I thought, yeah, no, these robots, they're not gonna get any better. Like I remember when they were like this, I thought, get the fuck out of here. They're never this thing is robots are never happening. And now it's so fucking close. The AI is really a game changer for robots because how quickly it's able to train kind of the algorithms that make robots so capable. See, we got Mike Lewis says National Geographic is an excellent, knowledgeable magazine. Covers about different articles about our Earth. Yeah, and that's why I thought, man, this partnership that Rolex did with National Geographic Museum this is powerful stuff because it's not controversial. This is not like Rolex is not trying to be trendy, right? It's all about credibility, right? When people gonna walk into this magazine, sorry, when people gonna walk into this, I was gonna say magazine. When people walk into this museum, fuckers, right? They're not expecting advertisements. You see? They're they're just there to learn, right? They're expecting history. And then guess what? Slam! There sits a Rolex. Look at that. Boom. There's a Rolex on the wrist, right? Not as a sponsor, right? It's not says sponsored by Rolex. It's subtle as fuck, right? Rolex is going to be there sitting as part of history. Think about that shit, right? Rolex has successfully attached itself to exploration. Like when people think exploration, they're going to be thinking Rolex. The children, think about the children, guys. They're going to assume that Rolex has always been like a part of scientific discovery. Fucking powerful branding. It's subtle as fuck, right? But educational. And it's like totally opposite from like billboards, right? When you're driving down I-95, right? What do? You're trying to look away, not look at the billboards. But here you walk into the museum to try and learn something, and then boom, subconsciously, you basically you learn that how important Rolex was in history of discovery. Now, is Rolex rewriting history? Probably, right? Probably. Look at this. Rolex Explorer's landing. Fuck! Because we already know that there's already a lot of this controversy surrounded like whether Rolex was there during Everest, right? The first ever climb, right? But the point is they were involved, right? Maybe they weren't there on the wrists of Sir Edmund Hillary when he summited Everest, but they were there during James Cameron's uh, dive in the Mariana Trench, right? They were there during polar explorations. They were there during all types of scientific research. And those are real stories. And fuck, man, Rolex is so good at telling stories. You go to a Rolex website, man, they're so good. Here, let's go here. Here, look at this. Yannick Zinner, right? They got all kinds of cool stories. Sports, arts, and the planet. Look, Rolex and sports. They got such great storytelling, right? They're there. Motorsports, yachting, golf, equestrian. They're so good. They're so good. They're there. These fuckers are better at telling the stories than the freaking people that were actually there. Is it marketing? Uh, they're doing it for financial gain. So, but like, hey, if you're gonna tell a story for financial gain, better tell a goddamn good story. And I feel like a lot of these other luxury brands their storytelling has been a little bit heavy-handed, right? I mean, Cartier funds culture, right? Patek Philippe, Louis Vuitton, Hermes. These guys sponsor museums, right? Patek is a museum. Cartier is doing some cool stuff in art, conservation efforts. Louis Vuitton is building a train station in New York City, and they're like refurbishing a building on Fifth Avenue and 47th Street. But man, that like Rolex does it through exploration, unlike anybody else. And I feel like what's cool thing about Rolex is like they plant these seeds. Like this museum thing, that's not gonna pay off today. This is a long term investment. It's gonna take decades for when they'll be able to reap some type of rewards, right? Out of this. It's the kids that attend that museum will someday will go on to become the customers of Rolex. You know, that's the cool thing. And the cool thing is like it's not like this museum is filled with Rolex watches. They didn't just put in a fucking bunch of watches in there. It's not even about the watches, right? The most valuable stuff in this museum is the stories. And Rolex understands like objects are cool, but what makes Rolex Rolex is the story behind them, the legends. You know, because like people don't remember specs as well as they remember adventures, right? The impossible climb, Sir Edmund Hillary climbing the Everest for the first time ever with a Rolex on the wrist, or James Cameron going to the deepest part of the ocean, risking their lives. Now, those stories are going to be remembered forever. And that's what makes Rolex marketing strategies so goddamn brilliant. Anyways, let's see. Let's take a quick look at what's going on the gray market. What do you guys reckon? Let's take a look. New arrivals, European watch company. What do they got? What is going on the European? We saw some of the stuff yesterday. Let's take a look here if there's anything interesting. Looks like they got a whole bunch of blank pawns. And blank pawn just recently released some new watches that kind of look like this Villeray. Look at that. Villeray Ultra Slim. See, the problem I have uh with blank pawn is that in my mind it's a diver's watch. So when they do these dress watches, it's a little bit I don't know. It needs to be a little bit more unique, I feel. So let me see. Let me show you the new stuff, right? So this is the old one. The pricing is great for a solid gold dress watch, 40 mil case size, a little bit large, especially for this very empty dial. The bezel is, I guess, unique. It's got this double dome, cool lugs, solid case back, which is not too bad. This is automatic. Let's see. 8.8 millimeters thickness. Of course, it's like new from 2011. Damn. Doesn't say no box, I guess. It is automatic. Very solid watch. I mean, like, this is a great alternative to a Calatrava. It's a beautiful piece. Villeray. Villeray. And these are the new Villerays with the date this time. And looks like they've modernized the Roman numerals and they have few new colors. Personally, not a fan. Not a fan of these. It is better though than the old one. I wish they didn't put the date. Why do they need to put a date on this one? But this one, oh my god, that looks like a Vacheron. But is Blank Pawn owned by Richemont? Let me see. Who owns? No, oh no no no. They're owned by Swatch. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's a Swatch group. So I guess they're trying to create or like give people an alternative to Vacheron. What's it called? Patrimony. This looks so similar to Patrimony, but then they put Loom in the hands. Why? I love. Oh wow. Okay, it's nice. Nice movement. They opened the case back. Beautiful gold rotor there. Not bad. Salmon sunburst dial, and they got that greenish eggshell dial. Very cool. Yeah, they're nice. But man, the deployant buckle. mm, Not a fan of the deployant. Pin buckle would have been good enough. This one is interesting because it's got like blacked out hands and blacked out hour indices. Very impressive. Hmm. But yeah, look at this. This one is 10,900. Now for the new ones, they want okay, so for the steel one is 9,600. So why buy a steel one if you can get a gold one for the same price on the secondary? So I would just get this blank bond secondary. But the retail for the gold one is 19,700. Just get this one. Let's see it. They have any other blank panes? So, oh, there's quite a few. Blank Pane, by the way, is another great bargain brand on secondary. So many incredible pieces. Wow. I love the Air Command flyback chronograph. Wow. 42.5 mil case. It's not too bad. It is on the pricier side. 14,900. I bet they would give also discount. Because retail, this is 20 something thousand. And looks like they have two of them. And it's absolutely unsellable. There's also a smaller 36 mil case of those. Oh, look at this one. A bath escape. 50 fathoms bath escape. 43 mil. Okay, it's massive. On a NATO strap in gold. And that 22,900 is outrageous. Let's see. What about the cheapy ones? What is there on the cheap? Anything on the cheap? And this is insane. 30 grand for bronze gold, limited edition. Don't get me wrong, I do love this one. And look at the presentation stand that it comes with. Looks really cool, but 30,000. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see. Oh, this one is cool. Look at that 38 mil white dial. Almost looks like it's made out of white ceramic, but it's steel with white dial for 7,750. That's a cool watch. Wow, that's so cool. Sean has, I think, a chrono, something similar to this one. Look at that. Split seconds chronograph in platinum. What the fuck? 34 mil case size. That's interesting. That is so cheap. Oh, what the fuck? Look at this. That's a vintage, circa 1965 no rad. Damn. This would be like my dream vintage watch with that no rad. Would have been cool. Yeah. I some look at the stock, man. They got a lot of watches. That's the problem. A lot of these are completely unwearable. This one looks nice though. Let's see. 45 mil, like new. Damn, close case back. Nice strap though. Automatic, 45 millimeters. Just a lot of them are way too big. Blank ponds are massive. Ceramic one. Look at this one. Black ceramic. It looks so cool. But 43.6 mil. It is cheap though. It's 9,900. Let's see what other new arrivals we've got. Oh, this blank pot. Look at this. 7,000. 36 mil. It's got 100 hours power reserve. Very strange. Why would they put the 9 sideways like that? It's so bizarre. Just put it normal. It's on the bracelet too. That's an interesting looking watch. Quality stuff. Then there's, oh, look at this. Cartier Basculin. Basculin. Whoa. What the hell? It pulls out downwards. What the hell? Oh, no, 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 it doesn't. This is just an optical illusion. I'm crazy. No, it pulls up outwards, upwards. I'm actually really shocked that this is so cheap. 12,500. How are these Basculin not $100,000 watches from Cartier? Like how is Crash 100K but this is not? The only explanation is that there's many of them. Although I don't see these frequently on the secondary. They seem to be quite rare. There's a Breitling top time to pass. Look at these JLC geographic. These are the world time JLCs. Pass for me. Let's see anything else interesting worth pulling up. That's an interesting Roger Dubuis. Look at that. Look at this one. Wow. Wow, look at the curvature in that. Automatic movement. It's just the finishing. Kind of ass. Horologier Jevenu. Pretty cool. Let's see. Oh, wow. Look at this Centre. in platinum, 100th anniversary, 84,500. That is nuts. Limited to 150 pieces. Damn. Beautiful. It's beautiful though. So beautiful. Wow. Mm. The box reminds me a little bit of the Breguet uh, subscription box. Let's see. Oh, there's a Lange here. Lange Datagraph, 76,900. That's a new movement as well from 2019. 76.9. 13.1 millimeters thickness. I mean, this is right there. It's kind of maxed out acceptable proportions. That used to be one of the most beautiful movements ever made. Maybe still is the most beautiful movement ever made. Hmm. It's beautiful stuff. Oh, oh, let's see. Let's see a few more watches. What do we got here in the new? Oh, actually, you know what? Let's also check the 1916 company. What do they got that's going on? Oh, they got the perpetual chrono Lange for 134,000. That's crazy. They got the Lepay MBNF Starfleet clock, 19,000. There's this crazy cool red Hublot Historiques for 37.9. That's insane. There's the Vacheron. That's a similar Vacheron to what Blank Pie is trying to do. This Bulgari Octo is really underrated with the GMT and the chrono complication. Let's see. They got the Endurance. There's Oris Garbage. Planet Ocean. The new Planet Ocean. And the Aquaterra in red dial. 6,000 for the Aquaterra. 8,000 for the Planet Ocean. This Planet Ocean, I don't know. It's just something doesn't feel right about it. It looks like a Grand Seiko. That's the problem I have with it. This should have been a Grand Seiko. Put a Grand Seiko on the dial. This is a great watch. And then closed case back. What the fuck? 8 grand. Yeah, it's just this doesn't feel like a Planet Ocean. Let's see what else we've got here. Some more Breitlings. That's a cool Breitling chronomat right here. B01. Look at that. Nice. I'm actually liking these older chronomats now. This one is 44 mil case size, so it's a dog, I think. What year is this from? Did they say? No, they don't say. Some of these older chronomats, though, like I really like them. The ones that are polished out, like really, that look really chromy with a lot of chrome. They look nice. This one, This one is it's kind of cool actually. It's kind of cool. This newer one is no bueno. Sorry, sorry. These new ones I'm not loving them. Oh wow, look at this Van Cleef and Arpels flower wristwatch, 25,000. That's pretty cool for a lady, for an elegant roommate. This could be a winner's watch. Actually, not that bad, all things considered, because it's got an iconic design. Look at all the guilloche. It's got guilloche dial, and it's got guilloche flowers with mother of pearl flowers and diamond flowers. So beautiful. I understand it's not a horology, but design wise, it's cool. Oh wow, look at this AP Millenary. I think this is a smaller size. This is a great ladies' watch, right here. 10 grand for an AP. Wow. Oh wow, look at that. It's like a it's what's it called? It's like a sideways California dial, right? It's got 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 are in Roman numerals. And the two dials sort of overlap. That is a pretty cool watch. With a diamond in the crown. Is this a steel watch? What is this? They say pre-owned, self-winding. Steel, yeah, it's a steel, but with a diamond bezel, which is pretty cool. It's a cool watch. 1815 chrono here for 54,000. That is a cool price. Yep. Muhammad Ali. What the fuck? Dude, there's an IWC Muhammad Ali limited edition. Well, shout out to Muhammad Ali. Man, I didn't know he was such a legend in the watch community that IWC made a watch for him. I think it's just a little bit too big. It's funny. Muhammad Ali, big pilot's watch. What a weird model to choose to do a limited edition for. Oh, there's a Satori Ballard. It's a cool Satori Ballard there. A beautiful Patek Philippe gondola. Look at that. Oh, oh wow. Look at that. It's on the smaller size. 22,000. This could be beautiful, right? JDC, exactly. He wore a tank. The Cartier should have done a limited edition, not IWC. What the fuck? Doesn't make any sense. Anyways, guys, that's the show for tonight. It's a little watch market Monday. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Hit that upvote button. I would really appreciate it.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city light. Wind was blowing, time stood still. Eagle flew out of the night. Here was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. once I resigned, my friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day, though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. When illusions spin her net, I'm never where I wanna be. At liberty she pirouette, when I think that I am free. Watch my empty silhouette, close their eyes but still conceive. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home.